Welcome everyone to lecture number 22. Actually, what happened? We recorded the complete session of this part, lecture number 22. But we found that the audio option was disabled for that, and audio was not presented. So I'm going to re-record that session, and yes, the notes are already written. So I will go through it, and I will discuss all those aspects in detail. Okay, as I used to do so. So we are going to read the important parts of the constitution as per the requirement of the government exams. Okay, so union and its territories, the first part that deals the first part of the constitution from article 1 to article 4 is the part 1 that deals with the union and territories, and the name of this article 1, the title that is given as the union and territory. So what exactly does it mean? Within the article 1, we have total 3 clauses, and each clause have its own meaning, and have own understanding. So article 1, clause 1 deals with the name of the country. Now today we call our country as the India, Bharat, or whether we call our country as a Hindustan. What name should we give? So we can claim that through the article 1, clause 1, our country has been named as a India, that is Bharat, and here it is written. Now if you want to name your country as a Hindustan, that is a part of your belief, and emotional issues. But as per the constitution, the name of our country has been given India and Bharat. Okay, there were other names that were being suggested at the time, uh, like if you see USSR, like related to United States of America, that name was given. Then USSR, that was being formed around 1922. So that kind of name were common during those days. So similar names were suggested for the India as well. So one name was UISR, Union of Indian Socialist Republic, and another name that was suggested, USSB, Union of Sovereign State of Bharat. Okay, so later we decided to keep the name as India, that is the Bharat. Okay, very heated argument were gone through, happened for such cases, and last we declared her name as the Bharat. A petition was filed, PIL, to the Supreme Court to call India as a Bharat in 2015, okay, by social activists of Maharashtra, and Supreme Court rejected that PIL in March 2016, and it tells the petitioner to not come with these emotional issues to change the name, or to call India as something else. Okay, so so Supreme Court had rejected to not come with such a sensitive topic, such emotional issues in the Supreme Court. Okay, and there are other important issues to deal with us. Okay, we have a country, we named it as the India and the Bharat as per the Constitution, article 1, clause 1. Okay, Union of States. So B.R. Ambedkar said that India does not have had a different colonies like America. India was always united. India was from starting, it was united. Okay, it was from starting, it is a union, not a federation. In USA, what happened, each states went under the contract with the central government, and that is called a federation. That's why they known as the United States of America. Okay, there were states came into the agreement, and they were united together to form the America. But these such cases are not with the India. India is already a united. Okay, there is no bifurcation, there is no federation. Using federation, if we are a Ambedkar said, if we are using the term federation, we are going to confuse it, and it will create a way that the state can be apart from India or not, which will create a problem for us. No, a state can't be apart from the India. It is a part of the India. It is because India is a union of states. Okay, So yeah, so Article 1 Clause 1 deal with the India, that is the Bharat shall be a union of a state. Now what is present under the Article 1 Clause 2? What does it deal with? Article 1 Clause 2 deal with the names that the states and the territories shall be specified under the first schedule. Now we have states within the country, okay, like Bihar, Maharashtra, Punjab, okay, and union territories as well, like Delhi and all, okay. So where these names should be mentioned, where these names should be mentioned. So these names must be mentioned under the must be mentioned under the first schedule, okay. And currently we have 28 states and 8 union territories, okay, after the inclusion of the Jammu and Kashmir. So name of the states and the territories, so the state and territories names of them must be mentioned under the first schedule, that is mentioned under the Article 1 Clause 2. And name of the state yeah, so yeah, so name of the states and territories should be mentioned under the first schedule. And what exactly is the schedules? Total, there are total currently 12 schedules, and we'll discuss it later in detail, okay. So this example I was given at the time. So Jharkhand and Telangana, let us suppose Jharkhand was formed from the Bihar, Bihar was bifurcated, a new state was formed as Jharkhand. Similarly, Andhra Pradesh was bifurcated and new state Telangana was formed. So when this new state is going to be formed, so where this name should be mentioned, how we are going to recognize this? Okay, the Jharkhand is a state of India, Telangana is a state of India, from where we are going to recognize it? So when their name, so there, when this decision, when the bill was passed for formation of a state called Jharkhand or a Telangana, their name were mentioned under, then our constitution was amended, and constitution, or then our first schedule was updated, and the name Jharkhand and Telangana was mentioned under the first schedule, and thus this state was formed, okay. So through the Article 1 Clause 2 we get the power that whatever the states and union territories will be there, their name must be mentioned under the first schedule, okay. Now Article 1 Clause 3, what does it deal with? Article 1 Clause 3 deal with the territory of India, whatever the territory we have within the country, what does it comprise, what we are calling it, what does it comprised of, okay. First our territory will include the states, okay, whatever the states we have, like Bihar, Jharkhand and all. Our territory will include of the union territories, like that is Puducherry and your Delhi. Similarly, right now we have a Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, so union territories will be mentioned, states will be mentioned. Now such other territory as may acquired, okay. What does this mean, acquired? We have three types of region, we have three types of region. One is called, we have a states, another is called as union territory, and another is called as acquired territory, okay. Most of the, like all of you, whoever watching my video knows about the states and union territory, but most of you don't know about the acquired territory. What is acquired territory? So we'll give you example for that, and you will be able to understand what is acquired territory. And now we don't have any acquired territory, but earlier we had, okay, and it was as per the constitution. So Pondicherry was a French colony, and French settlement of Pondicherry were there already, previously. So Pondicherry was ceded to India by the French government in 1954, okay, and it was administered, it was then then Pondicherry was getting administered as a acquired territory. This French territory was being administered as the acquired territory. Until till 1962 it was called as a acquired territory, and now in 1963 Pondicherry became the after getting the ratification from the French Parliament. After we get the ratification that yes, you can now take a complete control over the Pondicherry. So after 1963, Pondicherry became the first union territory of the India that was granted the Legislative Assembly. It is not the first union territory; it is the first union territory who was granted the Legislative Assembly. Okay, and what kind of a territory was Pondicherry before the union territory? It was an acquired territory, and acquired territory comes from the Article 1, Clause 3. Okay. Now, which is the first union territory that was formed? It was Andaman and Nicobar. The first union territory of the India. So now the first union territory of the India that was granted the Legislative Assembly was the Pondicherry, and it comes from the Article 1, Clause 3. Okay, I hope you have understand it very in depth. Even though if you have any doubt, you can connect with me with my social media accounts, and you can easily find that. Now, what does it deal with the Article 2? What does it mean? Article 2, it provides that the Parliament may by law admit any new state into the Union of India or establish any new state on such terms and conditions as it deems fit. Now, it is a very interesting thing. That you should understand, like what exactly does it mean by this. Okay. Now, see what this is mentioned. Focus it here. Yeah, so see what this Article 2 tells us, that we can form any new states. We can form any new state by within the we can form any new state that will be merged into the Union of India. Okay, or we can establish any new state, create any new state. Okay, within the India. What is the terms and condition for it? There is no terms and condition for it. Only it is that we can create any new state as it deems fit. See, it is. I'm just marking it very boldly, underlining it. Why it is very important? This term now we'll try to understand this example with the Sikkim formation, when how the Sikkim was acquired into the India. Okay. So Article 2. So from Article 1, Clause 3, we know that we have a 3 different type of territories. One is a states, one is union territory, and one is acquired territory. Now with the Article 2, it tells that we can even form any states as it deems fit. So let us suppose a scenario: we have a state, we have a union territory, and we have an acquired territory. Apart from that, is there anything that will be called as the new territory? Yes, it can be so, and that's what it is being a clearance to our government of the India through the Article 2, that we can create any new state as it deems fit. Now we'll see the example of the Sikkim, how this was formed. Sikkim was under the hereditary monarch that was called as a chogyal. Okay, and Sikkim was a protectorate. What does this protectorate means? A protectorate will be a political entity that formally agrees with the treaty. Protectorate will be under the treaty. It will enter into the relation with any another country, any another strong state. Okay, so now Sikkim will be a protectorate, and it will go under the entity. It will go under the entity. This political entity, it will go under the treaty, and with a relationship with a stronger nation. So which is the stronger nation beside the Sikkim? It is China, and one is India. So Sikkim went under the treaty with the India. Okay, and it gave India as a protector. So India will protect Sikkim from what aspects? It is going to protect Sikkim? It is going to protect Sikkim from the diplomatic aspects and from the military aspects. Okay. Now So when the Sikkim was given a clearance for the protectorate, India became a protector for the Sikkim, and it can protect Sikkim from diplomatic and military aspects. So what were the three topics? So Sikkim monarch was given the three power or subject to the government of India. What were the three powers that were given to the government? One was, it was related to the defense, it was related to the external affairs, and communication. Related to these three aspects, India was given the power to deal within the Sikkim: defense, external affairs, and communication. Okay. Now after that, government of Sikkim Act was passed in 1974. Government of Sikkim Act was passed in 1974. In that, chogyal was turned into a normal constitutional head. And now how this chogyal was converted into the normal constitutional head, we'll see it just soon. Okay. So during that period, when the chogyal was converted into the normal constitutional head, at that time 35th constitutional amendment happened within the Indian constitution, within the Indian parliament. 35th constitutional amendment had to happen in 1974, and in that thing, India added Sikkim as an associate state. In that, India was added as an associate state. Now when this thing is happening, that you are telling that, okay, India, you should protect us, you can deal with our defense related thing, external affairs thing, communication related stuff. So we have to be like, you have to tell us, no, like, we are not doing anything for free. So it is like, okay, so we have to give certain designation to this to the Sikkim region. So Sikkim was given a name as an associate state. Now here is the trick. From the article 1 clause 3, whatever the region, what are the things that is mentioned, what are the territory of the India? One is state we will call as the territory of India, union territory will be called as the territory of India, and acquired territory will be called as a territory of India. There is nothing mentioned as associate state. From where this term has been come? So now this term has been coined from this article 2. Article 2 tells us that we can create any new state, we can establish any new state on the such terms and conditions as it deems fit. So at that time, Sikkim was being fit as a acquired region. So this Sikkim was termed to be as a associate state. Okay. So now I guess you understood the meaning, like why what is the meaning of this article 2, how this article 2 was become very important, what is the meaning of this term, that as it deems fit. As it deems fit, whatever it will feel, whatever the regions it will require, if it feels that we can call this region as associate state and we can create a new state within the country, we can do so. From where this power is given to the parliament? This power is given to the parliament through the constitution of the India with the article 2. Okay, so Sikkim became the associate state of India. So now we'll hear the story behind it. So how this happened, how chogyal was converted into a normal constitutional head. Okay, so within the Sikkim, so there were some people who were against the monarch of the Sikkim. There were some people who were against the monarch of Sikkim, that is chogyal, and there were some people who were in the favor from them. So the people who were in the favor and the people who were against the chogyal, they sat together and entered into an agreement that they will decide that Sikkim would be given a constitution, and there would also be election happening within the Sikkim. Earlier there was a monarch there, so now they decide together that, okay, there will be election happening within the country, and they will call as a Sikkim Congress. Okay, and Sikkim, when the election happened, two parties were formed. So in that Sikkim Congress came with the overwhelming majority. Okay, then what happened? Then when the Sikkim Congress came into the power, so they enact one law. After when they become the into the power, they enact one law that was called as the Sikkim Act of 1974. and the motive of this law was that there should be an economic integration with the India. They wanted to be an economic integration with the India, okay, and there should be a political representation of people of Sikkim in the India. So now when they wanted that there should be economic integration with the India, they further wanted that there must be a political representation of the Sikkim people within the Indian Parliament. So what does it indirectly? You are telling that we are going to be merged with the India. If you are telling that, if let us suppose Pakistan will tell that I want economic integration with the India, I want Pakistan people should also be represented within the Parliament of the India. So what does it mean? It means that Pakistan will be a part of the India, okay. So that is the case. So Sikkim through this act, chogyal was turned into monarch to a normal constitutional head, okay. And this result of this 35th Constitutional Amendment Act 1974, so Sikkim was added as a associate state, okay, okay. Now after that what happened? After that, again one referendum taken place. There were again disturbance within the Sikkim people. So referendum was taken place. After when the referendum took place, people of Sikkim wanted to abolish chogyal. Why? Because chogyal was creating interventions with the international people. Because of the international intervention by the chogyal, the people of Sikkim was against it. Then Sikkim Assembly passed another resolution. Passed another resolution. The basis of this resolution was that institution of monarch is going to be abolished, okay, in Sikkim, and thus Sikkim shall henceforth be constituent unit of India, and it will be enjoying a democratic and fully responsible government after that, okay. Now a referendum was held in the Sikkim, and overwhelming vote came into the majority for this thing to be a part of the India. Then within the Indian Parliament, 36th amendment, before that when the chogyal was converted into the nominal head, so 35th Constitutional Amendment Act happened. Now when the referendum happened and people decided that no, they want to be a part of the India, so after that within the Indian Parliament 36th Constitutional Amendment Act was passed, and with this Constitutional Amendment Act it tells that the 35th amendment, whatever it was done, it will be deleted, and Sikkim will become a state like other Indian state. There will be no associate state term, okay. So Sikkim will become a part of India like another Indian state. So I hope you have understand this thing in very detail, okay. I have tried my best to understand. Even though if you have any doubt, please connect with my social media handle accounts, okay. Now what inside under the Article 3, what does it deal with? So Article 3 of the Constitution empowers the Parliament to form any new state by altering the boundaries of the existing states, okay. Now India has been given the Parliament has been given a power to change the boundary of the any region, okay. Even acquired in a region, okay. So Parliament may by law. So what are the things that will come under this article? So Parliament may by law, so it can form any a new state by separation of a territory from any state, or by uniting together of a two or more states, or by parts of a state, or by uniting any territory to be part of it. So like any permutation and combination you can apply. If there is a two state, it can form as a one single state. If it is a single state, that can be bifurcated. If there is a union territory, and if there is a one state, that can be merged into one. If there is a two union territory, that can also be merged into one single state. So whatever the permutation combination is available, in that way Parliament can make a new state, okay. Now Parliament can even increase the area of any state. Parliament can diminish the area of any state. Parliament can alter the boundaries of any state. Parliament can alter the name of any state, okay. So through this Article 3, this constitution empowers the parliament to form a new state by altering the boundaries of the existing states. Okay, now what is the procedure of it? How we are going to form any new state? How we are going to bifurcate any state or formation of a new state? What is the procedure for it? So now we'll see the procedure in detail. I was explaining in the lecture that was not recorded well. That's why I'm re-recording this session. I explained this thing in very detail. Okay, so try to focus on this thing. So let us suppose a scenario that where UP is going to be divided into two states. Okay, UP is a very large state. Okay, so for that thing the union cabinet has to prepare a bill, has to draft a bill proposal, and it will be sent to the parliament first time. It will be sent to the parliament first time. Okay, let me change the color. So yeah, okay, so it will be first sent to the parliament. Sorry, what I'm telling, it will be first sent to the president. Okay, so yeah, bill will be drafted for the proposal and it will be first sent to the president. Now what president will do when it receives the proposal to form any new state? It can be bifurcation, it can be joining of a state, whatever it can be. It can be anything as per the article 3. So now the bill will be drafted, it has been sent to the president. Now president will send this bill for opinion. Mention this thing, it is for opinion. Their decision is not bounded on the president to not pass anything. Okay, so now president will send this drafted bill to the assembly, to the state legislative assembly. So it will be sent to the UP assembly. Okay, now UP assembly will discuss debates will be taken place within the UP assembly, and after that debate this bill result will be sent to the president. It can be disagree, it can be agreed. Okay, now even if they disagree with the bifurcation of the UP, president is not bounded with that result. Even if they disagree, if president want, president can send this bill to the parliament. If they agree, so president is not bounded to that also. Even if they agree, president if the president want, he will not send the bill to the into the parliament. Okay, so what in short it means that president is not bounded with the result of the bill which has been passed under the legislative assembly, because president has sent that drafted bill just for opinion. It has been sent just for opinion. Okay, now and yes, now the decision that is going to be taken by the president, it is not president personal will. President is working on the aid and advice of the cabinet ministers and the prime minister. Okay, so whatever the decision is given by the, whatever the advice is given by the cabinet ministers and the prime minister, on that only president will work. Okay, now let us suppose UP assembly disagreed with the disagree, or let us suppose UP assembly has agreed with it. Okay, I want a bifurcation of the state, so it is up to president. So okay, so president will send the bill to the cabinet again to just go, and now it has been assented. You can introduce this bill to the parliament. Okay, now this bill will go for the house to be introduced. Now this bill can be introduced any of the house first. It can be Lok Sabha, it can be Rajya Sabha at first, but this bill has to be passed by both the houses. By how? By what majority? By simple majority. What is a simple majority? Simple majority, more than 50% of the vote of the present people. Okay, present and voting. Okay, so this bill has to be passed by the both the houses. See, this bill can be introduced by first in any of the house. Okay, whatever the house is being chosen as the first, after that that house has to be passed that bill with simple majority. Once that bill has been passed from that house, now this bill will go to the another house, whichever the house is left. Okay, now that house has to again pass that bill with simple majority. If both the houses passes the bill, if both the houses pass the bill, then it will be called as then it will be declared as a passed, and it will be sent for the signature to the President of India. Okay. Yeah, so this is the case. This is how the formation of a new state happen. If I give a very good example of it, the very good example is the Andhra Pradesh. Within the Andhra Pradesh bifurcation, where the Telangana was formed. When the Telangana was formed, when President sent the bill to the Andhra Pradesh Legislative Assembly, Andhra Pradesh Legislative Assembly disagreed with the bill. They rejected the bill for the bifurcation of the Andhra Pradesh, even though President agreed to send the bill to the Parliament, and at the end it was passed by both the houses, and Telangana was formed. Okay, I hope you have understand this thing. My neck is paining. Okay. So now Article 4. What this Article 4? This is the last article for our Part 1 Union Territories. Article 4, it tells that whatever the laws that is made under Article 2 and Article 3 to provide amendment of the first schedule. Okay, schedule are supplemental, incidental and consequential matters. Okay, what does it mean? What does it mean? Okay, so if we see constitutional amendment, whenever you want to make any changes in the constitution, it will be called as a constitutional amendment act. Okay, and whenever there is a constitutional amendment act, it has to be passed by the simple majority. Okay, but we are seeing here that this bill is going to be passed by the simple majority. How is it so? Okay, but we are seeing here that this bill is going to be passed by the simple majority. How is it so? Now there is a backup for that. Within the Article 4, it is mentioned that if you are making any changes through the Article 2 and Article 3. What does the Article 2 means? Article 2 tells that you can create any new state. Article 3 also tells that you can change the boundaries of the any state as you want. Okay, so if you are making any laws if you are making changes through the Article 2 and Article 3, then there will be changes within the first and the fourth schedule. Okay, what does the first schedule? First schedule, we know that it deals with the name of the states and union territories, and fourth schedule deals with the seat that is required within the Rajya Sabha, allocation of the seat to the states and union territories in the Rajya Sabha, that deals with the fourth schedule. So let us suppose there was Andhra Pradesh. So earlier, when the Andhra Pradesh was there and there was no bifurcation, so there were total 18 members of the Andhra Pradesh representative used to be sit under the Rajya Sabha. Okay. Now when Andhra Pradesh is going to be bifurcated, so Telangana state will be formed. So Telangana state people will also have a representative in the Rajya Sabha. Okay, so how many seats is going to be given to the Telangana region? Okay, how many seats, that it depends, it is done on the basis of population. Okay, so how many seats is going to be given to the Telangana region? So Telangana was given a total number of seats of 7 and Andhra Pradesh was given the total number of seats of 11. Okay, now how this is happening, where this number 11 and number 7 is mentioned? This number 11 and number 7 is mentioned under the fourth schedule of the constitution. Within the fourth schedule, it will be mentioned, it will be updated that Andhra Pradesh will be given 11 seats and Telangana will be given 7 seats. Okay, and when the Telangana state is going to be formed, then our first schedule will be also updated that there is a state called Telangana. Okay, there is a state called Telangana. So first schedule and fourth schedule is going to be updated. So now when we are making changes within the first schedule and the fourth schedule, so we are making changes within the constitution. So it should go with the Article 368, and Article 368 tells that it should be passed by simple majority. But we have a backup. That Article 4 tells itself that if we are going to be make changes within the first schedule and the fourth schedule through the article 2 and article 2, 3 and 3, so it will not come under the amendment, and you don't have to go with the article 360 here. Okay, so through the article 4 we get the power to amend our first and the fourth schedule. Okay. So I guess you have understood this thing in detail. Okay. Yeah. So if you have any doubt, related to the concerns, please connect with my social media handle account. Okay. There is a small topic that is left. We'll complete that also. Okay, that was not covered under that recorded session. That was where the sound was not recorded. Okay, so we'll we'll add it here. Okay, so Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh region and Ladakh. Okay, how does so what happened for this Jammu and Kashmir? So central government on October 31, we all know October 31 2019 formally implemented legislation approved by the parliament in August 2019 that there will be a split restive state of Jammu and Kashmir into two union territories. Okay, so Jammu and Kashmir will be called as a two union territories. Okay, this is the first time that a state has been downsized into union territories. There is no such example where a state has been downsized to a union territory. Okay, so this was the first time Jammu and Kashmir became the first first state that was downsized to a union territory. Okay, now the federally controlled territories of the Jammu and Kashmir Ladakh have taken the total number of union territories to 9. Okay, and after that it was brought down the number of state to 28 when it was when this thing happened. Okay, so at that time when this Jammu and Kashmir was formed, so Jammu and Kashmir was a region of one state. Okay, so at that time we had a 29 number of states. Now and 8 union territories, so it became that now we will be having 9 union territories, also no sorry 7 union territories. So when the Jammu and Kashmir was formed, so 2 union territories it became, and number of state that was reduced to 28. Okay, number of state was reduced to 28. Okay, see, this is not the current number. I will update you what happened after that. Okay, so now, so when this Jammu and Kashmir was formed, so at that time we became the total 9 union territories and 28 Indian states. So Jammu and Kashmir will have elected legislative and a chief minister on the lines of Puducherry, like as the Puducherry happened, as the Puducherry has a legislative assembly. Similarly, will be having a legislative assembly for the Jammu and Kashmir. And while Ladakh will be governed by the lieutenant governor, and it have a two hill development within the councils. Now the Jammu and Kashmir Legislative Council, upper house the state legislature, was already abolished on October 17 2019 as per the section 57. No need to remember those stuffs. Okay, so this is the whole information that was required. Okay, so this was downsized. Jammu and Kashmir were added into the union territory in October 2019. Okay, and Jammu and Kashmir they will have a legislative assembly similar to the Puducherry. Now Puducherry was the first union territory who was given the legislative assembly, and first union territory of the India will be the Andaman and Nicobar. Now merger of Daman and Diu and Dadra and Nagar Haveli happened. So on 3 December 2019, a bill was passed to merge two union territories. Bill was passed to merge two union territories. What were the two union territories? Daman and Diu and Dadra and Nagar Haveli. Dadra and Nagar Haveli into one unit into one unit. There was a bill passed to merge two union territories, Daman and Diu and Dadra and Nagar Haveli into one unit. So Rajya Sabha passed this bill, Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu, that get merged into a one union territory, bill 2019 through vice president. So Lok Sabha has already passed the bill. So we have completed like whatever the concept is required under the union and its territories. So related to one concept, we'll discuss the union Bedibari case. Okay, Bedubari union case. So what exactly it was? So India and Bangladesh share its land boundary with which brought 100th constitutional amendment act within our constitution. Okay, so what it happened, what was the story behind it? So this led to, I hope you have understood understand this lecture. If you have any doubt, please connect with my social media handles. So the line which demarcates that it is the border of Pakistan and it is the border of India, that line is called as a Radcliffe line. So remember this point, that is a point for our prelims. Okay, so there is something called the Bedibari Union number 12. Okay, Bedibari Union number 12. Okay, this is number, that was a name given to one union group of places was there. So what exactly is that? So this case is related to that when the bifurcation of India happened into Pakistan and India. So when it was bifurcated, the country was divided. In that case, what happened, after a few years, Pakistan started to claim that there are some regions which has been, by mistake, it has been fallen under the side of India. Okay, and those side has to be given to Pakistan. That number, that the side that we were talking about, they were nothing but that was Bedubari Union number 12. They were talking about that thing. Okay, so they were telling that there were some villages that has been fallen under your side. Okay, and it has to come under the East Pakistan. Okay, at that time Bangladesh was not there, so they were telling that this has to be given to Pakistan back. Okay, so Bedibari Union 12 was described as a part of India. So when maps were exchanged, so a confusion arose that Pakistan said this Bedibari Union number 12 fall under the Pakistan side. Okay, and it was wrongly given to India. So talks started between the Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and Firoz Khan Noon. Okay, a talks happened between the Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and Firoz Khan Noon. Firoz Khan Noon was the seventh Prime Minister of Pakistan. Okay, and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was our Prime Minister. Okay, first Prime Minister. So one agreement happened between the Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and Firoz Khan. What was that agreement? That agreement was known as the Nehru-Noon Accord. This agreement happened, Nehru-Noon Accord. This happened on 1958. Okay, and what this Noon Accord said, that there will be a division of Bedibari Union on, so the north, whatever the region that are going to fall under the north side, whatever the region that will fall for the north side, that will be given to India, and whatever the region that will go to the south region, that will go to the East Pakistan zone. Okay, so they decided on that decision that they are going to divide those region horizontally. Okay, horizontally means whatever the region will be on the north, that will be given to India, and whatever the region will fall under the south, that will be given to East Pakistan. Okay, but this never come to be named whether it was a part of India or not. So it never came to be decided that whether whatever the Bedibari Union was a part of India or not. Okay, so now the question arose related to that: can a union government gift away any part of union territory or parliament as his power? Is there any power that is given to union government, that they can give their part or give the territory of India to any other country? Is there a power that is there? So protest happened within Bengal. So let us suppose that one day after 10 years you are going to know that you now from tomorrow you are not will be a part of India, you will be a part of East Pakistan. So related to that, people started to revolt, a protest happened against the decision. Okay, and on this protest the president took a decision, at the time Rajendra Prasad. So he took a decision that there is something wrong happening. So he used the power that was given under the Article 143. What is the Article 143? As per the Article 143, Supreme Court will work as a advisory for the president. Under Article 143, Supreme Court will act as an advisor to the president. So, total three questions were given to Supreme Court to whether this power is given under the constitution or not, whether we can do it or not, whether this is constitutionally correct, that we can give a part of our land to the country. Why? Because in the preamble, so there was what were the views that were being presented by the ruling government, that within the preamble it is mentioned that we are a democratic republic, Socrates democratic republic country. Okay, so this thing is mentioned under the preamble, democratic. So democratic means that the person who is ruling under the government is chosen by the people. Okay, so whatever the decision that ruling government is going to take is doing with the favor of people only. So this will come under the right of the union government, and yes, they can do it as per the preamble. That explanation was given by the union government. So now the Supreme Court came, and Supreme Court said that okay, whatever the things that you are telling, that it is in the preamble it is mentioned that it is a democratic government, that we the people of India, Socrates democratic republic country, all those things. Supreme Court said preamble is not a part of constitution. Preamble is not a part of constitution. So just forget about that thing. We can't discuss about the preamble thing, whatever the mention. The preamble is not a part. Preamble is not a part of the constitution. Okay, we can't consider this preamble as a constitution. Okay, so now we'll discuss those aspects. Now we'll discuss those aspects based upon the whatever the thing that is mentioned under the preamble. Okay. So this preamble is not a part of the constitution. That was told under the Berubari case. But later in the Keshavananda Bharati case, it was declared that no, preamble is nothing but a part of the constitution. So if we want to get any idea of overall structure, if there is any confusion, so we can refer the preamble. But at that time in the Berubari Union case, Supreme Court said that preamble is not a part of the constitution. So forget about that thing, that we are going to refer preamble. We'll see constitution, what are the provisions that are mentioned under the constitution. Okay, so constitution tells that within the Article 1 clause 3, it tells that we can have a territory of the states or union territories, or as may acquired. Okay, as may acquired. There is nowhere mentioned that you can secede your territory. Secede means there is no mention that you can give your territory to any other country. Here we are talking within the Article 1, we are talking about the part of addition of the region. We are talking about the part of adding a territory within the country. We are not talking about the giving our territory to any other country. Okay, we are not talking. So from Article 1 clause 3 we can't do it. And now we'll see what is present under the Article 3. Now from Article 3 also, now what Article 3 tells, that we can create any new state. Okay, how the new state can be created? New state can be created on the basis of separation of any territory that is existing. We can increase the area, we can diminish the area, we can alter the boundaries, we can alter the name. Okay, even even there from the article 3 also it is talking about the creation of a new state based upon the existing thing, or we can add any or we can create any. Here it is also not talking about we can give any part of our existing territory to any other nation. Here we are not talking about subtraction, we are also here also we are talking about the addition part. Okay, now from article 2 we are telling that it provides the parliament may by law admit any new state into the union of India, establish a new state as such and terms and condition as it deems it fit. Here also in the article 2 we are talking about addition, new state, we are talking about the creation of a new state. We are not talking about the sending our any existing territory to other country. So as per the articles, as per the whatever the thing is mentioned under the constitution, we don't have a provision to secede our any territory, to give our any existing territory to any other country. Okay, so parliament union government was telling that we are not like giving away, we are exchanging some territory. In the Berubadi union case they said like we'll exchange a few of the Berubadi place territories to East Pakistan, and few territory we are going to take from that. We are exchanging it, we are not giving it, but no any such provisions are present under the constitution. So Supreme Court advised to the president so that we can't give our any territory to outside the country to any third party as per the existing constitution. Okay, as per the whatever the articles is mentioned under the constitution, we can't do it. Only one way to do it, that we can go with the article 368. We can go with the article 368 where it tells us that we have to where it tells us that we can amend the constitution. Okay, so Supreme Court said that we can amend the constitution through article 368, where amendment of the constitution that will be done in the first schedule. In the first schedule you have to make changes. In the first schedule you have to make changes, and you can't make any changes to the first schedule by using the article 3 or article 2 or article 1. Okay, you can't make any changes through by using those things, because we are in all those articles, all the existing articles, we are talking about creating new state. We are not talking about giving away our existing territory to any third country. Okay, so we can amend the constitution within the first schedule. That has to be go through article 368. Now what article 368 tells, that we can do so we have to pass that bill with the special majority. Okay, then only it can be done. Okay, so this was the whole story behind the Berubadi union case. Okay, so but whenever the discussion was going on, okay, so in 1971 what happened, a war was broke out between East Pakistan and West Pakistan. Okay, so a war broke out, and this made East Pakistan as a Bangladesh. Okay, so East Pakistan emerged as a Bangladesh. So Bangladesh was emerged. Okay, so in 1971 this war broke out. So in 1974 Indira Gandhi government and Sheikh Mujibur Rahman sat together. They entered into an agreement in 1974. They signed an agreement between India and Pakistan. On the basis of which some enclave means to be exchanged. Okay, so Bangladesh did not agree on this, and India also don't want to give their enclave. So this matter kept on pending. Okay, so this matter went on pending status till that from starting. So this matter went on pending. Okay, now what happened ultimately in 2015 when the India government came? So ultimately this thing was left under the hand of India government. The India government headed by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So the Constitution Amendment Bill for the land boundary agreement given effect under passed by the both the houses in 2015 as the 100th Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay, on the basis of this land boundary agreement, total number 51 enclaves of Bangladesh was sent to India. Okay, so 51 enclaves from the Bangladesh was given to India, and 111 enclaves from India has been given to Bangladesh. Okay, and further on the basis there were a open condition to migrate. Okay, so even they were allowed a chance of migration of people from one country to another country of the enclave. Therefore, ceding of a part of a land of the country must be passed through a parliament, with passing by a constitutional amendment act happened. So whenever you want, whenever the country is going to secede its existing, secede its territory, then it has to go with the constitutional amendment act as per the article 368, where the bill has to be passed with the special majority. A special majority. It will not go with the as per the provision mentioned under the article 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, it will not go with that. Okay, not for what amendment will be done here? That amendment will be done that our schedule will be updated. Okay, our schedule will be updated. Okay, so this was all about under the Berubari Union case. Okay, I hope you have understand this lecture. Thank you.